everyone, and happy Tuesday. We have our planner page to probably complete actually today. I have picked out some greens that I think will match in with our sort of purpley theme. I'm trying to think what I decided yesterday, I did the first part yesterday, was that I would do a layer of a lighter green first and then use some darker greens to sort of put some highlights on it. So I'm just looking at the greens that I've picked out because I can't really remember. I think I picked out the Neptune green. Just let me check to do the base. Yeah. So here is our Neptune green. So if you're not using the metallics, use a lighter green that's a slightly bluey green if you've got one. I'm afraid I'm just going to start colouring. It's just going to be as even as I can base layer. Don't worry if it's not really even. It is what it is. But you can you can tidy it up after if it doesn't quite look to your liking anyway, and it's not that important. It's a leaf. Leaves aren't evenly coloured, so I'm just going to go over the whole of the base like this and chatter away. So if you don't, as I say, if you don't have metallics, just a light bluey green, pick out something. I'm trying to think, if I was using polychromos for example, I would say maybe the emerald green, probably more the phthalo green. And then over the top of that, if I was using polys, I would use the sort of dark phthalo green, the hookers green, the cobalt green deep, those sorts of colours on top after. Prismacolor, I would probably use the, is it the light green or the true green? Those are quite close. And then on top, things like the dark green, the grass green. There's probably more that I can't think of, but anyway, that sort of thing. Now here, I'm not sure whether to fill this bit in or leave it blank. I'm decided to fill it in, obviously, because I have, but you could leave it blank if you want. See, one way of colouring these is just to do the outside and not do this inside bit, but I'm going to do all of it. I think it's a bit easier, to be honest. For me, if you're using pen, you could quite easily just track that edge, but also it won't necessarily match the rest because not all the leaves look like this. If all the leaves look like this, then it might work better in my opinion, but you can obviously think about what you think works, because you know, we're all different. That's what I like about art, is I can look at a piece of art, not a piece of colouring, you know, an old piece of art, and go, that is just hideous. And someone else might say, that is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. It's really interesting. I don't use the word hideous. And what I do is I can look at a piece of art and I can go, I can see that lots and lots of work went into that, but I don't like it. So I have an admiration for the work, that's gone into it, but I don't like it. Or I can look at a piece and think, actually, that doesn't look like, it looks like it took about 5 minutes, but I really like it, so that's good. You know, so I look at things from a different level to what I used to. I used to just look at it whether I like the colour or the style or whatever, but now I have a bit more of an appreciation for having a look at something and thinking, actually, I can tell that took a long time, you know, or that person practiced loads in order to do that. So this is why I don't like something excuse me, I'm not a big fan of Jackson Pollock. I went to the Tate Modern long time ago and saw his picture that's just a load of splats all over a big canvas, and I was like, I could do that. Why is it worth so much money? It's just, you know, kids can do that. And someone said to me, it's because he was the first one to do it, and I was like, but he wasn't. You know, kids do that all the time. He was just the first person to have the cheek to try and sell it, and some fool thought, oh, this is good, and bought it. But of course, you may not agree with me. You might think, well, actually, you know, it took a lot of nerve, and, you know, there was some thought in it, and he might have practiced a lot, and blah, blah, blah. You know, you might totally disagree with me, and that's absolutely fine. And I think you can have a good healthy debate about this sort of thing, which is great. And I think actually talking about things like that is quite good, because you know, when we have debates about things like religion and politics, it can get quite heated and emotional. But with art, I think probably not. You know, as long as you're not talking about someone's art who's there in the room, which is not very nice, unless you're being nice, you know, you don't criticise it, that's horrible. But, you know, this guy, you know, Jackson Pollock, he's a big boy, he's made a lot of money. I think he's he's laughing all the way to the bank, so it's fine. But there we go. Although I was having my husband's summer in the supermarket, and just before I come in here actually, and said they bumped into our local MP in there, which was quite a shock. They were like, "Oh, hello." Apparently he was chatting to people in there. He's only just been, you know, we only just had our elections. He's a new one, only just been elected, never been one before. And there he was in the supermarket. I usually see him on Saturday, to be fair, in the farmer's market, but he was in the supermarket, which is just really close by, and they were remarking about how he was there. But it'll be interesting to see what he does, really. It's very early days. They can't do much yet until well, actually, by the time this video goes out, they'll would have been doing some stuff. So we'll see what happens. You know, I've got sort of mixed feelings about what happened in the election. Not going to go into detail my political view, but I do think it was time for a fresh start, and we will be judging and seeing what happens, really, you know, as we do with our politicians. See, you know, how the individuals perform and how the government performs as a whole. They've made lots of interesting and positive they made lots of interesting pledges, but obviously they haven't done very much yet because it's very early days, and we'll just see whether they can do what they want, whether it has the positive results that they've been hoping for, that sort of thing. So we'll see. You know, I think a lot of people are very happy, are very bright and positive about it all, and that's good, because as a nation, if we're feeling more positive, that's always good, for lots of reasons. Health is brilliant. You know, if you're happy, positive, you're healthier. It's, you know, stress does not help health. You know, and also, you know, people apparently spend more when they're happier, which is good for the economy, not necessarily good for your loans. Depends if you can afford to do it, things like that. Also, the nation is quite happy because of the football, which I don't know the result yet. We're in the final of the Euros, which means we could potentially be the top team in Europe, but it's tomorrow, the final. You will already know the result if you follow it. Obviously I don't, because I'm recording this way early. I'm getting a bit done early because I've got an appointment next week, and potentially another busy day. And then the week after I've got 2 appointments, so I'm just getting on, really, and I'm excited to get on and do this page and finish it anyway. I've also got a huge pile of books that I sorted out for summary type videos. Some aren't that summary, and some are. I thought it was about time I sort of thought about summer, so I found out Rita Berman's summer book that I've got. But I picked a picture that's in her compilation book as well, so that then it means that if any of you've got her seasons book rather than her summer book, you can follow along. So I found that. I can't remember which picture I picked. I was only doing it last night, you know. And I picked out Hannah Carlson's also got a summer book, and I think I might have found a picture now, but can't remember now. It was only last night, you know. And what else did I find? A few other things as well. I've put Ivy aside for a bit because I've done a lot from there lately. I know, and I've had someone say they want a picture, they're going to commission a picture from there in August, so I'm making sure I'm not doing that one yet. So that but I'm doing a few pictures in there on my own, mainly ones that have been in the planner, so I'm not going to sort of share them again anyway as videos, but I'm getting close to finishing. I think I've got about 40 pages left, which sounds like a lot, but not really. Especially some of them are really small, some of them are big, but you know, because of the nature of Ivy, some of the pages have only got a little bit on because they've got words on and things like that. So yeah, I'm excited to get another book finished. My completed Ivy, my last copy, is a really popular video, so when I do my next one, you'll be able to see whether, I'm sorry, just got to stop and blow my nose, whether I've done them differently or not. I will do a comparison book. What I do is, if I've already finished a book before, like I have with Ivy, this looks like a flower, but it's the only bit that does, so I'm going to colour it as a leaf. I know that sounds weird, but it's going to look really odd if just have one flower. But if you want to colour it as a flower, do so. I'm just going to sharpen really sharp and do these tiny lines. Here, look, there's a teeny tiny line. And I'm going to do this one on the other side, of course, being symmetrical, I'm going to do that one. And it actually continues down here. I'm still not staying in the lines very well, but while my pencil's sharp, I'm just going to do all these teeny bits. Yeah, so when I finish a book, I do a sort of comparison to see how I have done it differently, which I find fascinating myself, and they seem to be popular videos. I think my most popular video is my Secret Garden comparison one, I think. So obviously my Enchanted Forest one's pretty popular too. My Magical Jungle one isn't quite so popular, and nor is my Christmas one, but I've done this with all my Johannas that I've done 2 copies of, and as I say, I find it fascinating. And so I will do the same with Ivy once I finish it, but I'm sort of hoping to finish it before Johanna's new book comes out. I think late October her book comes out, but we'll see. I don't want to if I get bored of it, which I don't think I will, I don't want to then just sort of force myself to finish it. There are some pages that I'm sort of procrastinating, I have to admit. In fact, one of the pages was the one I did last before because I procrastinated it and I haven't done it yet. Because it's the one with all the treasure on a page, like there's the medal and the spoons and a trinket box and a teapot. I don't know if you remember that page. It's very daunting, even for me who likes doing metallics, but I mean, I think maybe I should do a little bit and then come back to it and then another little bit, but I don't know. Last time I really liked how mine turned out, so it puts more pressure on me, because if I do a poor attempt and then I'm comparing it, I'm going to go, ugh. I don't think I will, but so I feel like, you know, I need to do it well. I'm being silly, but we all have these silly things, don't we, where we you know, we want to improve, and that's fine as long as it stays fun. And that's why I've been procrastinating, because I don't think I'd be finding it fun if I did it now. So we'll see. I'll get there. I'm doing a different page from there at the moment. I'm doing the there's one with water at the bottom of the page and like houses on stilts in the water. That was a planner page quite recently, so I thought I'd do that. Well, half of it was a planner page, it's actually a double, so I thought I would have a go at that. I'm doing it in slightly different colours to what I did on the planner. I've actually decided I'm not very keen on the colours I picked, but hey, it's going to be better. It's looking a bit messy because I was doing it last night and the light wasn't very good and I couldn't see how messy it was. Even though I have my lamp on, it tends to shine off the pencil. So I'm going to go back to it once I finish this video and tidy it up a bit. I'm sure I'll like it once I've tidied it and finished it. I usually do. It's there's not many pictures I finished that I really dislike that much, which is good. And even if they're not how I wanted, I can learn, you know. So that's all good. Now, what have I been thinking and doing? don't know. Been cleaning this morning, very exciting. It's my husband's birthday tomorrow, so obviously by the time you watch this it would have gone, but so I thought we usually clean on a Sunday, and it says birthday on Sunday, so I said to him, you go out shopping, take one of the boys. He had to take the one that was awake, and me and the other boy will do the cleaning, and then we can get it all done out of the way, and then when it's your birthday, it won't be cleaning on your birthday. But it's his birthday, there's the football final and the tennis finals at Wimbledon. So he said he might pop out while I'm watching the tennis and go and do some sketching or something at the museum, which he likes to do. They have these really interesting drawers full of little trinkets and things, and they're great for sort of still life sketching. Excuse me, which he likes to do. So he might do that, he said, but we'll see what he's how he feels. But I've told him, you know, I've got the morning free. The finals don't start till 1:30. I don't need to watch the build-up or anything. I don't like doing that, it's boring. I just like watching the match, and it's all very well saying this person plays like this and they might do this and that. It's like, no, let's just wait and see what they actually do. And I don't like the build-up. I don't mind the commentary on the tennis too much. There's the occasional bit where I like to listen and hear, you know, if they're a few bits and pieces. But the good thing with the tennis is they don't commentate between point when they're actually playing, so only in between points, so it doesn't get to the football commentary drives me bananas. They end up talking about cricket or golf or something. It's like, for goodness sake. Or they're basically saying they need to play better, they need to win, they need to score a goal. I'm like, I could have told you that. So no, I don't like listening to that. It's boring. They're also usually just critical. Oh, they should have done this, as if the commentator could have done better. It's like, maybe you could, but did you win when you were a player? Probably. Or were you even a player? No. England have never won the Euros. So, you know, and the women have, but they're not commentating. It actually depends which channel you watch. One channel has some more women and one doesn't. I assume it'll be on both the main TV channels. Usually is when it's the final. And they've also asked our new Prime Minister if they can have a bank holiday if they win. It's a little bit awkward because when the women won, there was no bank holiday, and the government that was in then were against it. But the guy who's now Prime Minister was for it. But a bank holiday costs the economy billions of pounds because people aren't at work and they're being paid. So it's a bit tricky. I'm going to pick another green now. I think I'm going to go for the Pacific green. It's quite a nice one. There we go. Now what I'm going to do with this, I might only use this green, but I'm going to do some detailing. So I'm now going to come in closer because what I was doing before you didn't really need to see. There we go. Now let's start at the bottom here. I think I want a little bit of darker green down here. So we're just going to layer it up a bit like that. And then let's sort of taper it off. These are overlapping, so I'll put a bit extra there to make it look like shadow. And that's what I'll do on all of these, is to sort of make it a bit darker where they're overlapping. And hopefully it makes it look a little bit less flat, a bit more interesting as well. With a few more colours. You don't have to add more colour if you don't want to though. You can just leave it with the one layer. Now, as it's a symmetrical design, I am going to colour it symmetrically. Some people don't choose to do symmetrical, and I admire them, and it can look amazing. But for me, my brain won't allow me not to do it symmetrically normally, although I did actually in my Ivy Snowdrop video, I did them differently and I managed to cope with that. I don't know, sometimes it's hard, isn't it? It's supposed to be fun, so if it feels wrong, then just don't do it wrong. There we go. Just put a bit up there, like that. Now, I'm not sure how we're going to do this because it's symmetrical and I've zoomed in. Oh, I did the top and you didn't see, sorry. So I did a little bit in there and there. Doesn't even show up. Let's put a bit more in and you can see. There we go. Now this one here, where it overlaps I think, and then the base of these. And I do the other side the same. I don't know whether it's easier to do one side than the other rather than going back and forth. It's okay, while it's all in shot I can do it, so we've got up until the end of there. So the base of these little ones, and what's going on here? Can't work it out. I might just do these bits, these sort of inner bits. Let's go over here and do this bit. So the base of those, and then these sort of inner bits. Sorry, my hand will be in the way. Trying. Then what should we do with this one? I'm thinking maybe I'll colour in the background and leave the stemmy bits light. I don't normally do it like this. Be a bit different. I don't know why I'm so hoarse today. It's quite early. Not really. She says it's up as 10. It's not that early. But not sure. I've got a bit of sinus thing going on. But that doesn't usually make me hoarse. I don't know. Anyway. What else is there going on? I don't know. I think I had a scam email this morning. It was in my Ko-fi and this person had downloaded something for free, as you can do. You have to put in 0 for the amount that you've paid. If you've done it, you'll know, and then you can get it for free. And they'd sent me an email after they got their sort of email receipt saying, I want a refund because I can't afford what I paid you because I've got medical bills. And I was like, but you haven't paid me anything. How can I refund 0? So my son said it's a scam. He said they do this with PayPal. I thought I'd tell you, could warn you. Apparently what people do is they send you some money on PayPal and then they tell you that they sent it by mistake, then you need to send a refund. And then you send the refund and then they withdraw the payment. So you've lost the money. And it's a known scam. They said maybe they were trying to do something like that. I said, I don't know. So I replied to the email explaining that, you know, I couldn't refund nothing. And I can do the other side the same. And I haven't heard back. And my boy's like, you should never reply to that sort of thing. But I also wrote to Ko-fi, the sort of customer services, and told them about it, because I said maybe you need to be, if it is a scam or a bot, I don't know if they've got a way they could tell. I don't know if it's easy to tell or not. You know, they might be able to have a look into this person's account and sort of see, I don't know, see if they've done it with loads of people or something like that. And they might be able to, I said, you know, it might be worth warning people that this might be happening, and they need to be careful. Let's go down into the middle. Now, I did have the thought that I might change my colour of green, but I'm quite liking just doing the same one. If you want to change, you could use the ocean grey, the green grey, yeah, or the African jade, but I'm just going to keep going with this one. I'm going to sharpen it a tad. Yeah, so we do have to be so careful with these scams. I mean, I could refund their zero. There is a way of doing that, but then that might lead me down all sorts of rabbit holes. So I thought, well, I'm not going to do that, because obviously it could be, it's not like they're going to get anything if it is genuine, you know. I'm not sure what to do with all this twirly-whirly, so I'm going to do this one. Yeah, we just need to be so careful. It's so sad that we have this going on, all these scams and things. But I think there is a certain amount of criminal activity where people think it's unfair that people have money and they don't, and so they justify scamming them because they think they're rich and they should, you know, they should spread their wealth a bit. But unfortunately it tends to not be the really rich people that get scammed, so it doesn't really do that. And obviously there are some people that just don't care. But the new government is trying to sort something out with regards to... Oh, I missed these leaves on both sides. Look at that. Did you notice? Did you tell me? The new government is trying to sort out prisons and things. Our prisons in the UK are full. So they're going to let some prisoners out early who they feel are reasonably safe, you know, not ones that are violent or anything like that, and try to sort of reduce prison sentencing. And in a way, I'm not a fan of prisons for everybody. Some people need to be put away for our protection, but some people, maybe they just need some rehabilitation. It all depends on what they do, and I don't really know. I can't pretend to know much about it at all. And having never been impacted by crime myself, I don't necessarily feel that I'm qualified to talk about it, but I know they're trying to make some changes, and they have employed someone who, the government have taken someone on as an advisor who employs ex-cons into his business to try and, he does training courses in prisons and then gives them jobs to try and keep them away from crime, and I think that's brilliant. And so that if he can continue to help with that sort of thing, that's really good, because obviously there are people who get into crime because they've got no other form of income, or they just hang with the wrong people or whatever, and if they can have help, that's fantastic, you know. But it's very complicated, isn't it? There's lots of different reasons behind it, and yeah, there we go. I'm nearly there, I think. Just going to do these areas down here. But that's the main thing that the new government have been talking about, as well as energy. They've said they're not going to renew licences for drilling of oil in our North Sea, which is a huge industry in Scotland, but they want to encourage more onshore as well as offshore wind farms. So they want to keep our energy security, i.e. keep us producing some energy ourselves, but use greener sources. So we'll see how well they get on with that, because a lot of people are very against having wind farms near them, because they think there are various arguments. I'm trying to work out what to do here, because I haven't done much here. I think I'll do a bit on the edge here. there are arguments about it impacting wildlife with regards to birds flying into the wind turbines, but I don't know how many get impacted by that really. You know, I know there was some turned down near here because it was on a migration route or something by an environmental sort of charity. But you know, a lot of people just don't like, I'm just going to do that thin bit around there, just don't like how they look. Unfortunately, we might just have to bear that. But we'll see. I'm sort of hopeful that we can become greener in our energy. I think it's really important. Right, now let's come out and have a little look at our horses, unicorns. Now, if you wish, you could make them look a little more magical by using some glitter. And I'm just having a think. I do want to use some glitter. I think I'm going to just use my Gellyroll glitter pen. And I think I'm just going to put some on their horns. Because they're the magical bit, aren't they? Are they? I mean, I don't think that's even working. Oh, might be. A unicorn, there, that's better. A unicorn without a horn is just a horse. I say just a horse. I think horses are quite lovely. Not that I'd go near one that's really huge or ride on one. In fact, our Princess Anne got a concussion from a horse, they think, and actually there's a picture in our local paper. She's sort of back doing some duties. I think I'm going to do the hooves as well. And she looked to have quite a bruise on her face. But she's back working again. Our doctors obviously felt that she's well enough, which is good. There we go. Now you could glitter the whole of your unicorn, or you could use glitter pens on the mane and tail, on the main thing or whatever, but obviously if you use a coloured pen, glitter pen, then you would obscure your coloured pencil, but you might want to go around the edge, something like that. But I think that's enough. I will just tip it so you can see the effect of the metallic pencil, and then pop it down there. So thank you very much for watching. I hope that you have a really super Tuesday, and I've got no idea what I'm going to have for you tomorrow, but there will be something. Yeah, have a super day. Thank you. Please do like, subscribe and comment, and happy colouring.